intercepted.
No, I'm going to turn it off. Yeah, just that so that way Dak Prescott can read the defense and everything.
I don't know. I feel like with Derwin back on the field, that alone makes it a little harder for them. If this was last year and we didn't have Derwin, I'd be a lot more worried about the secondary. But Asante outside of like one penalty didn't do too bad last week either, so. Give me 1 second. So I had to get the link for my podcast, or for the podcast ready so I can post it everywhere. Okay.
Bobby, I couldn't hear you, or you were breaking up for a second, but I heard you about the Chargers and everything, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like offensively they have the slight advantage, and that's.
You think the Chargers do or the Cowboys do?
I think overall, depth-wise, the Chargers have the better offense, but in terms of starters, I think there's a slight advantage for the Cowboys.
Who are the Cowboys DBs? Because I know that. Okay,
their DBs are not great.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like Keenan Allen might be torching them.
I think Keenan's going to torch him quite a bit. I feel like if they give him too much space, Guyton can also do quite a bit of damage. And Jared Cook has been very good for us too in those as a safety blanket.
Well, that makes sense. It's going to be a good game either way. My chat says one of my guys, Fortanius, said that the Chargers will win this week. So, and I mean he's pretty in tap. He likes.
Well, I was watching. I was thinking about it, and when I made my predictions, I was a little bit of a toss-up. But then I heard Gregory and Lawrence would both be out, so their pass rush won't be as good this week. And the thing is, even if they had a really good pass rush, Herbert under pressure is probably one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
I mean, he looked good last week. He looked fucking really good last week.
I mean, he had that interception, but I chalked that down to just a really good play by the DB. I don't think he threw it in the wrong spot. He just made the play on it. And then the fumble was just pure bullshit on that one, so.
No, yeah, exactly. That's how I feel, too. Did you watch the game last night?
Oh, yeah, that was a fun game. Thursday night games this year have already hit differently than, the last, 4 seasons.
Bro, they are crazy. I was watching I bet on the, what's it called? I bet on the Giants, so I know Fenler said that they lost, but they covered, so I'm happy about it. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I predicted Washington, too. The main reason I predicted Washington is even though the Giants technically have, the better quarterback and stuff, if you really think about it, I also know Daniel Jones happens to struggle at times when he probably shouldn't, so.
Yeah, no, that's true, and I mean, that's they could have won by more if there wasn't that holding penalty on that long run he had again.
Yeah, and then
I don't know what it is with him and fucking long runs. He's just always out here just making long runs.
And that's like I said to one of my buddies. We were predicting that game against Washington, and I was just like, dude, I feel like the Chargers got this one. I think the defenses are on par with each other when it comes to the Chargers and Redskins. But I just knew offensively, with or without Ryan Fitzpatrick, I just didn't think they had enough.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly what I thought when I was betting last night. I was like, because I'm in my group chat with all my friends and my brother's friends and all them, and I was like, there's no way Heineke can win this game, but he will not win by more than 4.
Yeah, no way.
And sure enough, what did they win by 1 point? He's not a terrible quarterback, but he's also nothing crazy.
Crazy thing that happened during that Washington game is Keenan Allen actually said to Chase Young on that final play that they converted on that 3rd down. He said, if you guys go man, you're going to lose. They went man, he caught the ball, and they lost. So, he freaking called his shot on that one. Okay, so the podcast is now, we're actually live now, finally. I waited until Streamlabs said we were live, and I let it be up for like 5 minutes to make sure it wouldn't crash. But let's go ahead and get this started now, shall we? I'm going to start with the same question I give everybody to start out with. What or who initially got you into streaming?
That's a good question. Honestly, I've always wanted to be streaming or doing YouTube or like some sort of content creation since I started playing Madden. I mean, I played Madden all the way back to like, I don't even know, back when like Vic was running around in like 04 on the GameCube and all that. So I was on that, or I mean, I was playing up there too. But I would say honestly, my first like person I watched and like fell in love with on YouTube was Mr. Golden Sports. Him and there was another player too that I can't forget his name, or I forget his name every time. Those two guys, they got me so hooked on like mud and like trying to like become content creators and like really just trying to like change somebody's day because of like how like just like personally with me, they really made me smile, and I always thought they were super funny and stuff, and I always wanted to try and make sure that I could try to change somebody else's day and make sure that I can make them laugh or whatever, you know, because I definitely want to make sure that the people that come into my stream are having a good time, that they're laughing and everything, you know. So I would definitely say like Mr. Golden Sports and Gaming Powerhouse. That's his name, Gaming Powerhouse. That's who it is. So yeah, definitely those two guys from YouTube. Streaming wise, like on Twitch, I would say like Fendler. He's one of the first ones that got me into it. And then also just the comp scene of Madden, you know, W. I love Lost Bot Wars. Hopefully one day I can be on that, but definitely W. I think he's one of the best content creators we got right now. Same with K-Mac too, just because I do run a little bit of off meta scheme on Madden, so I try to follow along with like what the competitive scene is like.
Yeah, that's. I was
Here's the kicker, Aldrich Rosas, ready to get us going. And we are underway from the Superdome. Taking it about the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. We get our first look now at Aaron Rodgers in his 17th season now with the Green Bay Packers. And, of course, coming off a great 2020 where he took home the MVP trophy.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career.
Before he blew up and stuff, or like even
before he even went live, I was following him, and he needed to check to see if alerts would work, so I unfollowed and refollowed, and he's like, even though it won't show it like on the official record of how long I've been following, he's like, you're like one of the first like maybe 10 people that followed me, because I followed him before anyone else even knew who Up and Adam was. So
yeah, I mean, hey, that's what I appreciate. That's what I love about my community too. Is hopefully that one day I can reach, you know, I don't really care if it's 10 viewers or however many viewers, but hopefully we get big one day that I can look back and be like, damn, those were the ones that really stuck with me when we first started.
Well, one of the things that a lot of us like to do, obviously, is helping people get to affiliate. Is there anybody that you can remember helping reach that goal, like through one of your raids maybe, or maybe giving some advice to them?
Oh, yeah, actually, there's a guy that actually was in my stream, because I've been live for about probably 40 minutes right now. There's a guy named iRock Grapes. We've rated him a few times, and he's trying to get to affiliates. So, I mean, he's always appreciated the raids that we've given him. Same with another friend of mine on this community, Deacon Gabe. He always is in all the streams that I'm in, whether it's Ragusa or like W or anybody. K-Mac, he's always in there. Fendler, and he's always going crazy. And just having a fun time. So, and I was trying to rate him when I see that he is live, because he does want to get that affiliate too. So definitely trying to like help out the community. I think that's a big thing with Madden is the game may suck sometimes, like it does right now sometimes, but we adjust and we make sure that the community is still solid.
Exactly. To answer my question as well, the two people I remember helping hit affiliate, I think I had a hand in ammo getting to it. And then I know for a fact I was a driving force behind Big Evo getting his as well.
Yeah, Big Evo's blown up, bro. Whenever he boots up now, I always see him with like crazy amount of viewers. At least like
Dude,
40 to 50.
one
I saw him
day,
with, like 60 or 70 the other night
I
too, I
can't
think.
remember if it was like a super early stream or like a mid-afternoon stream, but somebody recommended go raid Evo, and from that point forward, like when I was hopping in there, he was just watching himself basically because there's like one person in chat, so it had to be him, right?
No, that's so funny because literally I was in there too. Like right when he first started, I mean, it wasn't right when he first started, but I mean, it was like when he had probably 5 to 6 viewers, and I was just starting out too.
Yeah.
And, I was just trying to talk, and I was just, I was in there trying to talk to him and everything.
Yeah.
King Cow, we're talking to my man, King Couch right now, so we're on his podcast right now.
We
My bad.
completely forgot, like, I was looking for somebody to raid that day when I raided him, and there was nobody on that I knew or nobody on that I think needed the help. Like when I was about to raid somebody, like Fendler and Up and Adam were on. They were still getting, at this point, they were still getting like fucking 60 people or whatever. It's like, okay, I don't really need to raid them. Who can I help? And then I forgot who it was, but somebody was like Big Evo, and like he had one person. I think I shifted like 8 people over to him, and then I like brought. I mentioned to him, go into Fendler's chat and he can help you get affiliated. And next day he was in there, and within like a day or two of him doing that, I think he hit affiliate. And then I hold a founder's badge in that because as soon as he hit affiliate and as soon as I was able to subscribe, I did so.
No, yeah, and I think that's like the big thing is like, especially like that's another word of advice to give, like you asked earlier, the affiliate, the people that want affiliate is like, don't just boot up and think that there's gonna be 7 people in the chat or whatever. It's a community. You gotta build that community.
You have to. It's like
it's networking. You gotta find some friends and make friends.
I don't know if you were there yesterday, and actually his podcast is up on my YouTube right now. If you weren't, but I had Kyle Anderwuji. I had him yesterday.
Yeah, I was in there for a little bit.
His advice was exactly that. You need to network first. Before you boot up, you should find a community and network through them and all that before you even start, because then you at least have a couple, like a group of people that know who you are and will be willing to hop in when you start booting up. That's what I did. I think I was in Fendler's chat for at least a week before I started thinking about streaming. And then I achieved that goal of affiliate in a week. I did it a second time when I had to start my second account because this one got banned for no reason. And then I got this one back, and now I have that backup one just kind of sitting in the background in case I ever need it again. And, I can obviously boot up on the other one anytime I want to because I have that account still on here. But it sucked because my Madden account, I couldn't get into my PSN account either. So I had to make another account, and now I have 2 MUT teams this year, one on my main and one on my extra one. And this one eventually is going to be a Chargers themed team, but I have to wait until we get more, elites and stuff before I can actually build that. But yeah, that's definitely something I do, networking wise, especially now, even though I've already hit affiliate. I try to get my viewership up, and I know if I'm not playing Madden, there's always going to be that handful of people. King Cove, thank you for the follow, my friend. There's always going to be that handful of people that I know are going to be in every one of my streams regardless. And then I try to extend my reach. Like, I'm in, 10 Facebook groups. I'm in, 20 Discords. I'm obviously in a lot of people's chat, so my name's already out there. But,
No, yeah, especially your name. You're a really well-known, guy in the Madden community. I know that. I remember you, pushing for Fendler and all that stuff and all that when he was trying to get a partner too. So
yeah, I was helping. I helped him. I helped the push for Fritzy. I think I've had a hand in helping everyone get to a partner except for maybe Lauren. But I was always in Lauren's chat too, though. I was normally lurking in hers more so than being talkative. But I've also extended myself out to the Resident Evil people that like playing that. I play so many different games now. If I could show you guys the stack of games that are sitting next to my TV right now, I think there's 15-ish sitting there, and they're all ones I've either streamed before, started streaming recently, or plan to stream. So I think altogether I have 40, 50, 60 games, something like that, all of which I plan on streaming at one point.
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally agree with that. Like, definitely expanding your, base of games that you have to, like you said, build that community or whatever
Yeah.
you got. So,
And simply
I totally
put,
agree. Like you said, you'll have the ones that ride with you no matter what you play. Like, when I switched over to MLB for a couple weeks when Madden was starting, I still had viewers in here that were trying to get in there. Eventually, if you boot up 2K22, you're going to get those guys that come from, that are, no matter what you shoot Madden or 2K22, they're still going to be in there,
Yeah. And then I have, with Madden, it's like, I have the stream team going, obviously. I have some YouTube content that's going on. But, I don't play head-to-head. I don't play Weekend League. And I know that's what a lot of Madden people are drawn to, is those things. And I'm like, okay, well, I can find success when I do, the stream team, because I know people who are on that team are going to want to see what happens when I boot it up for the playoff runs.
Yeah.
But I already know nobody wants to watch people play solos, so I'm not going to boot up with those. Instead, I go to,
100%. Just find that, you want to find that little, what's the word, the niche, you don't want to be like everybody. You just want to find, something unique. That's why, with my YouTube, I'm out here trying, I'm not going to do play reviews, because you can click on any YouTube channel for Madden, and they're going to have play reviews. So that's why I'm trying to do, unique series. I have a series on my YouTube, Winning with Winston, where I build a team around Jameis Winston, and I have, certain upgrades and certain rewards if I do, certain stuff in the game. So just trying to find that niche. And I've uploaded 3 videos, and in the last 3 weeks, I've already gotten 10 new subscribers on my YouTube. So I mean, it's working. You just gotta find that little niche and just do it.
With me, I'm much like my streaming. I'm a variety YouTube content creator too. Recently, I have 3 franchise modes I'm currently doing. I'm doing a Jets franchise, a Chargers franchise, and I'm doing what's basically a practice squad, where I'm only allowed to draft players if I reach for them. And I'm not allowed to sign free agents, and other than the however many draft picks I have to only sign practice-eligible players to the roster, and I have to play games with just them. I traded for, Trey Lance, and I traded for Rashawn Slater, so both my tackles are Penei Sewell and Slater, and then I have, obviously, the quarterback position fine, just because I play through the games, and I need a quarterback that's not going to throw a pick every single fucking time I throw the ball.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But yeah, I have those 3 going. I have I'm making my picks every week, and I'm posting the video of my picks for every NFL game. And then I have
I'm definitely doing that. I've been doing that on what's it called too, on Twitter too, just trying to get my picks up.
And then I have other YouTube stuff I do is I watch a show called Ruby. It's produced by the company Rooster Teeth. And a lot of people know them from the Red versus Blue series.
Oh, okay.
And they started their 9th season actually got delayed because of COVID putting back the ability for them to be able to work together. And they're waiting to release it till next year so they can release the best quality volume they possibly can. I'll send you a link to the first episode on Twitter. I think you'll probably enjoy it. It's an animated series. I don't know if you like those type of things, but
yeah, no, I do like some anime.
It's
there are some that I do
super unique. And when I send it to you, I'll wait until we're both off stream so you'll actually be able to watch it and stuff when I send it. But it's really good, and I'm going to be making predictions for Volume 9. One specific thing that I want you to know about it too, the animation gets better from volume to volume, and in Volume 1 there was actually, it was a home operation. It was a handful of people working on it, and you'll notice when you watch it why I'm telling you this now. But do not give up on it because it's animation when you first start watching it, because from volume to volume you'll see it slowly get better.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But another real quick, super interesting fact about it, they have the same person doing all the music for that show since the very first trailer was released.
Really?
Yep, she started, her name's Casey Lee Williams, and she started, I think, that when she was 12, 13, 14, and they use her for every volume, and almost every song is either her or I think her dad does all the music for that show, basically.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, no, because I've always watched Avatar and One Punch Man, things like that too.
Oh, the other thing about this is they have weapons, right? obviously most animes have weapons if they're going to be good. There's obviously slice of life and stuff like that don't have them. But this one, they have weapons that are also different weapons too. Mostly they're like bladed or whatever, and then they turn into guns. So I'll definitely send you a link when we get off, so you can look at that and let me know if you like it or not.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely do that because I definitely would like to. I do need a new TV show.
But yeah, you have. Hey, if I get you into that, you have 9 volumes to watch, or 8 volumes to watch, so you have plenty of binge watching if that's what you're into.
There you go. Yeah, I'll be nice and busy then.
Real quick, the Saints just tied the game 3-3, so.
Oh, there we see. Jameis gonna lead the way. Don't worry, Jameis always gonna lead the way.
But yeah, making a Ruby prediction video within the next couple of days. I'm probably gonna be making a Volume 9 predictions. And then I actually, like, a year or two ago, I was playing the app game Crystal Match. And those actually have, like, 80 or 90 views on, like, the 2 I posted. And I'm probably going to get back to doing that. I'm going to have to start over, though.
Okay.
But I'm going to do some mobile games, some reviews on TV shows and movies and books I've read. And I'm planning a lot of different things now because I'm going back to variety on my channel again. The last 2 weeks, or last month, it's been either these podcasts or it's been NFL related. So I'm going to get back to variety so I can start bringing back in the viewers from my other communities.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Definitely got to try and expand the viewership.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, so another question for you. What are your goals right now on both on any platform, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, whatever it is you do? Do you have any goals for like followers, subscribers on YouTube, or anything like that?
Yeah, so I obviously try to make my goals very realistic, so that way I'm not like let down constantly. Because obviously, if you set yourself up for failure, you're probably you're just gonna get down on yourself. So I always do try to make the goals realistic. So like what I would say is for Twitch at any point, I would just like to make sure that I have like at least 50 consistent subscribers. Either that, because I'm going to be dropping like sub tips and stuff like that, because I do like to, try to help the community out with the stuff that they're doing, bringing the game. So I will be doing that, and then so I would say 50 subscribers on Twitch, and then like per month usually, and then on YouTube I would like to reach that. Right now I'm at about 140 I think subscribers on YouTube. So if I can get to 500 by the end of the year, that would be great, because I just feel like the content I'm putting out, I try to be funny. You know me, I'm very energetic and kind of crazy, so I try to bring that energy to the streams or to the videos too. So just trying to keep it that way, so that way we can all have a good time and make somebody's day. So
yeah,
that's all I'm trying to do. Yeah, but I would say those 2 goals: 500 subscribers on YouTube and then 50 subscribers on Twitch per month.
I've already had to rewrite one of my goals, because one of my goals was to hit 1K followers on Twitch, and I hit that like a month ago, and it was supposed to be an end of the year goal, and here we are halfway through the year, and I already have it. So.
Hey, that's easy though. At least you hit your goal, so that way I thought you had to rewrite it to rewrite it to make it work, but now you made it happen.
But the toughest goal I think I have right now is actually I want to at some point have a level 5 hype train on my channel. I've never had one over level 2. And so that's one of the things. I want to experience one that's not me helping someone have a level 5, but for me to receive a level 5. So,
that would be crazy too, yeah, especially the energy
but
that you brought to that.
Like 0 times I've had more than like a level 2. And like I explained to Kyle, that's not I believe I deserve it or anything like that. It's just I've been part of so many of them. It would feel good to be on the receiving end of one, at least once, And
yeah, for sure, I feel that.
I laugh at Clap, now known as Charming Mister, because he complains because he gets too many level 5s and his hypes go too high. And I'm like, oh, you can just send one of those level 5s over here, bud. I'd be more than happy to take it from you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't mind to send me that my way, my man.
And then I have my YouTube goal is currently 200 subscribers, because I'm at 131 right now. It took me I think I've had this account for 5 years, 6 years now, and it's taken me that long, but my consistency has always been an issue. And so that's why I'm hitting my goal, I'm making my goal 200, because I feel like if something comes up and I lose like a month or so, I think 200 is a achievable goal for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You know, I'm sure that, like, I'm looking back on it now, that's the same thing with me with my YouTube, just being consistent. So I try to at least upload once a week, twice a week.
Well, that's like
just to make sure that I get it.
A year ago, right? I was, okay, maybe a little over a year ago. It was like when I first started in April of 2020. For like 2 or 3 months, I was on every single day, and I had 2+ hour streams every single day, right? And then at one point, my electricity just went out and it wouldn't work, and that took like an entire like month for off my time of being able to stream. And then there was a lot of issues financially and job-wise and all that stuff that kept us out of being able to stream for even longer. Then I came back, had like a month or so. Then it went back to being, not being able to again. I think 2 months ago was one of my best months in terms of being able to stream every day again. I think out of 30 days, I streamed for at least 23 of them.
Oh, wow, okay, that's super good.
And then now, with this going on that I'm doing right now, this is, I think, my 3rd day of streaming in a row. And then I'll have Venom Fury on tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw that. That should be a good interview that you got tomorrow. I mean, you've been consistent with the podcast.
And then I have, sometime next week, him and I still have to link up, but I have The Animal coming on next week.
Next week you got him?
Yeah, sometime next week. We have to find a day.
Oh, okay. That'll be. I mean, you got a lineup right there, man. You got a good lineup.
And then I have, I actually have 2 bigger names that we're trying to work out a time and day and all that stuff for. I have CJ Sauce on the back burner right now. Him and I have been, off and on letting each other know what's going on. We're trying to find the day and time and all that ourselves. And then I also have McMillie as well that's on the back burner too, trying to get those 2 figured out.
Yeah, those will both be really, really good.
And then I actually am thinking about trying to have someone like Robo Teach or Taco or something like that on here too.
Oh, Taco's always been funny, man. He's always been good.
Yeah, he's always been fun to watch. Okay, so my next question for you is going to be a little bit of a different vibe to it. Have you ever had any problems with anybody in the community at this point in time? Like, have you ever had like just a altercation between you and somebody else, verbally or on Twitter or anything like that? Or have you been pretty well off in terms of not having too much issues with people?
I would say pretty much I've been pretty well with like having nothing like off stream or anything like that, or on stream like stuff like that. I know there was like an issue with like I guess there were some people like that, just like I don't know if it's bots or just people that just come into streams and they're just there just to cause havoc and stuff. So I mean, obviously those people just kind of get banned right away. They get the ban hammer. But I mean that happens, and then also besides that though, I would say not really. I know me and PyCam sometimes go at it a little bit because we want to talk sports or whatever. So, or I don't like his sports takes, but I mean, just like debating sports and stuff like that. Really, that's it. But besides that, nothing else.
Hey, Silent Ninja, you're in the chat right now. How you doing, bud? I'm doing pretty good interviewing our guy Silverfox right now. Hey, I got the 2 tight ends. I'm talking to one. We got the other one in chat right now, so.
You already know. See the 2 tight ends in the stream team, man. We out here running this shit.
And speaking of, I think Ninja is actually Ninja and Robo are really good examples of how this community works. Because if I remember correctly, both of them took like 6 to like 9 months or something like that off because they have had kids that they needed to start raising and stuff. And but from the second I think both of them got back, they got immense, like a lot of love from the community, not just people like gifting or anything like that, but just a large group of people coming into their chats from the second they returned. And I think it's still going for, I know Robo, I don't know how well Ninja's numbers have been looking, but last time I was in there, I think he had like 5 or 6 people, and then I think he got like 3 people rated him yesterday, which was insane.
I mean, to have that after like having a kid and stuff, that's fucking really good.
It shows how good this community is with no matter how long you're away for, when you get back, people are going to notice, and they're going to make sure you know that they noticed you were missing and that you weren't streaming.
Oh, 100%. Everybody want to make sure you're good.
I mean, look at people like, Mr. Clapp, with him being gone for 58 days. I think he had like 9 fucking level 5s in like 2 streams. It was crazy.
I mean, and he was fighting the Twitch algorithm, whatever it was, to get back on.
Yeah, he had to stream on like YouTube and Facebook and other outlets while he was waiting, because he didn't want to not have any way of communicating with us during that time outside of just Twitter. So.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean,
but he was gone 58 days, and when he returned, it's like he never left, because that's how instantly people just kind of like went to him. I think he got like so many fucking raids too. It wasn't really funny.
Oh, I bet. Oh, speaking of right now, he's actually live.
Oh, damn. Oh, wait, yeah, that does make sense. This is around the time he does normally go live.
I mean, yeah, he's consistent too.
But, oh, look, Jameis just got sacked by somebody.
Okay, Jameis, sometimes I don't know if his LASIK paid off all the way. It takes him a second to still see it.
I mean, he has the 5 touchdowns, so that tells you he at least saw the open man when he needed to.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it did work a little bit. And, hey, the 50-yard bomb to Callaway or whoever it was, Raekwon Smith, longest pass in the Saints history in the past, like, since before Drew Brees. So,
I remember,
we're in the Jameis era now.
So in terms of, like, my answer to that, I've had problems with exactly 3 people on this platform. Me and Fredo had a thing for a month or 2, and then we were able to straighten that out. Then I had a problem with Bronco Boy for a couple weeks, and then we straightened that out. And I've had a problem with B. Johnsy basically for, like, at least a year now, just off and on. And he's by far let me make this absolutely clear. I hate him. I'm never not going to hate him, because he always starts problems when there's no reason to start them. Like, before the season started, like about a month ago, I think, I mentioned how bad the Jets have been historically for the past, basically since Joe Namath. And he brought up the whole Mark Sanchez going to back-to-back AFC Championship game thing. So, I gave him that. I'm like, okay, cool. But what have they done since then? Nothing, right? And he just made it into a bigger issue than it was.
They got Zach Wilson. They just got like the 3rd pick overall this past year.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm sitting here like, dude, I'm not even saying anything that's false. Literally everyone that watches football knows the Jets suck. And it's like, at least with the Chargers, the last 20 years with the Chargers and Phillip Rivers, at least they've made playoffs, and they've made it somewhat deeper into the playoffs, and then they just get 2 fluke seasons and then go back to being trash,
Exactly, fuck them.
But yeah, that was like, I keep trying to, mend the bridge with him, but it just never works out for an extended period of time, so I just gave up doing that. He's one of those people that just aren't worth it to me anymore. And it sucks, but at the same time, if people are going to be a thorn in your side for no reason, then you need to just let them be a thorn in your side and ignore them.
Exactly. Just take that thorn out and snap it in half, and then throw it back in their eyeball so it gets stuck in their own eye.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yep.
Hold on, I gotta quickly get this to change of possession so it's not sitting there on the same screen while we're talking. Okay, so it looks like y'all, Saints did a good punt, trapped them on the 5 here. Okay, so next question is, this community is... What?
Fire away with that question, just like Jameis would with that deep pass the other day.
Yeah, that deep pass was something different. Okay, so with this community, there's an overwhelmingly large amount of streamers in here. There's a lot, there's the well-known people, Up and Adam, Fendler, Luch, and such people as that. And then you have the lesser-known people. Is there 3 names that you think of that are further down the totem pole that definitely deserve more recognition for how good they are?
Oh, 100%. I mean, obviously I'm going to say myself not playing. But no, I'm going to go with one of my friends, and he's actually in my crew, Diener Cod. That's his name on Twitch. He's actually very competitive. He plays in typically what's it called? He typically plays a little bit of more of off-meta style, and he tries to find the glitches. You know, as a Madden crew, we try to do that together.
Yeah.
I would still say, I don't even know if you would consider him underground, but Rowdy Time, man. I mean, he's very well known in the Madden community, but I'm sure that
he's a tricky one, because people know who he is. He definitely does put out really good content, and there are quite a few people that know him quite well. But in terms of ratings, he's definitely not. Though he's well known, he doesn't exactly get the recognition I think he deserves.
100%, I totally agree with that. I 1,000%.
He's been super consistent for like the last 6 months, and then obviously this big thing with his internet and stuff messing with his consistency happened. But this dude was consistent for about 6 months with being on around the same time and keeping people entertained the entire way. That's not something anyone can do easily with 20 plus people in there almost every day. And he plays it off like he has 20 people in his house every day and this is just a normal day for him, you know? And that, I feel like, is definitely an underrated aspect of Rowdy Time that I don't think enough people talk about.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 1,000%. You know, he is a very, like you said, he's got a lot going on. But hey, he fights through it and he adjusts. That's the motto with Madden 22. Adjusts. And he is doing that right now. Even though he's playing 2K22 right now as I see his name. He's a part of the Madden community. He's adjusting.
The thing is with Madden is the defenses in the game are very frustrating because there simply isn't really a defense to be played that's like that go-to one. 2 years ago, I think it was 3-3-5. That was like the go-to coverage type of defense. Now it's like not even that works properly anymore. And it's
it's just the zones in general are broken. There are a lot of broken concepts in Madden. But no matter what, it's a football game. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna play the football game because football.
With the defense in Madden now, it's like you pick and you pray. That's basically all you can do.
Oh, 100%. Pick and pray. Pick and play, pray. I say
pray it works.
I say my what's it called? My Hail Mary every time I pick and play. Hail Mary full of grace. I hit it every single time. I hit A and I say that prayer.
So one thing about the community that I think is also very different is there's a lot of, Kyle brought it up yesterday, there's a lot of camaraderie between all of us, not just when people are gone and then come back, but just in general, anytime we see anybody having a bad day or somebody picks a fight with one of the streamers or something, typically there's a good chunk of us that come to the defense of somebody that, that might not need it, but it's the fact that we're there that I think proves the type of community we are, as opposed to other ones, And
yeah, 100%. One of the homies that's in the chat right now, he followed you a little bit ago. King Cobb, he is always, he's always showing love and he is always positive no matter what the circumstances and situations are. Same with one of my boys in my Discord, Red Rocket. He is always positive and just showing love and always trying to get me to play new games and everything,
And that's what part of me having the ability to stream is that I do, and one of the reasons why I love being a variety streamer. I mentioned it in every single one up to this point, but I like showing people new games that they haven't played before, or reintroducing them to games they have played before, and maybe getting them to go back to playing those games again. Because one thing that I think streamers, no matter which community you're in with streaming, when you notice one thing works, you typically just stick to that thing and never really let yourself be challenged after that. Most Madden streamers know it's head-to-head weekend league, and people will show up. With me, it's
and I will continue to play that because I will rage until the day I die playing Madden weekend league.
Exactly, and to me, it's like I wouldn't enjoy playing Weekend League or head-to-head, and I don't judge people who do. I don't judge anyone who streams it. But to me, the only reason I'd stick around and watch a Weekend League stream or a head-to-head stream is based on who the streamer is themselves. But a lot of it's kind of the same. You know, everyone runs the same, like, schemes, and everyone gets the best players or whatever for the most part. There's very few people that run, like, just a solid theme team of just one team. They always have to go with the glitchy, like, 2 teams or whatever. And it's just like, it looks like just copy and paste across the directory. And that's why I have to focus on who the streamer is, not what they're playing. Because otherwise I'm just like, I've seen all this in this guy's stream. Why would I want to watch this one?
You have the personality. That's what you want, the personality.
And, like, I'm actually going to show some of the games that I have sitting here. I obviously have the case to Madden 22 up top because that's the one that's in the console right now. But I have, like, Watchdogs Legion. I streamed this, like, 2 days ago, right? That's a good one. Obviously, you'd have to be looking at stream to see what I'm showing. Resident Evil 5. I played that with somebody who was helping me clean my house the other day. I have Resident Evil Revelations, which I streamed for an hour when I first got that game. Maximum Football, which I might go back to. This game's, like, super weird because, like, it's hard to play, but it's kind of funny because when you rage at it, it's like, well, this game kind of sucks at the same time. At least it's not animation-based, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Last of Us Remastered, I played this most of the way through last year. Dead by Daylight, which I plan on playing with Mr. Rob Gaming at some point in the near future, actually. So that'll be a fun stream to do.
That'll be super fun.
Final Fantasy, which I tried to stream this one, but it decided just to keep not letting me do it. So, I don't know. Sword Art, Fatal Bullet. This one I'm going to be streaming soon. I've been thinking about streaming this one for like a month now, and I think tomorrow might be the day or Monday is going to be the day I stream that. WWE 2K20 for wrestling.
Oh, that's what, what's his name's playing right now? That's what, Charming Mister is
Yeah.
playing right now.
MLB The Show 21, which I started a Blue Jays franchise, and that will be being back on stream pretty soon. Heavy Rain Beyond Two Souls. Then I have Tomb Raider. I played a little bit of that on stream. Resident Evil 4. Played that
You're a PS5 kind of guy.
PS4 right now, but yeah. Last of Us Part 2.
Okay.
One of the, probably the most controversial games of the last, like, 2 years. Uncharted Lost Legacy. Uncharted is like a really good series if you can get into it. Ace of Combat 7. And Life is Strange Before the Storm. So I have literally all those games are just the ones that are sitting next to my console right now. I have literally like 30-ish more that are sitting in the a cupboard over yonder.
Over yonder, I like that. That's the terminology I like to use.
And then I have like 10 of them that are downloaded on the console. I have a lot of games that I can stream, and all of them will probably get some stream time at some point.
That's all that matters. You just gotta get it going.
But yeah, basically when I do these, I typically will be doing Maddens, like whoever I'm interviewing, their favorite team will be in the background while we're talking. And then at one point I might switch it to MLB just so there's something different going on if I like decide to go back and interview somebody I've already interviewed. People love competitive Madden, that they do. But yeah,
Give me 1 second real quick.
Alright.
All right, can you hear me? My bad.
Yeah. So, obviously the game just ended. Packers actually won this time around in this franchise, but I'm sure Packers fans wish that was the case in real life.
Yeah, Packers. Sucks for them that they lost a job of them.
Now, with how a lot of games like work nowadays, a lot of them you almost need internet to play. And it sucks because back in the day when it was, PS2 and you had to pop in a game and boom, you could start playing. And there's a lot of them that were like Final Fantasy VII, something I was playing a while ago. That was remastered from the earlier PlayStation. And I miss having that ability to just pop a game in and be able to play right away. Because, we all have bought a game and we're like so excited to play it, and then we remember shit, when we get home we have to wait for it to install first.
Yep.
And
exactly.
That's when like having Twitch and stuff, especially, now, it's really cool because the amount of updates that some games need, Madden being one of the particular ones, is just comically close together if you really think about it. Like every week I feel like there has to be a Madden update for something. And luckily they're not normally more than like a couple gigabytes of space. But it's still like, it makes you think. It makes you remember the games like, playing something like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. I don't know if you've played that, but...
Oh, of course, bro. That's a classic.
That's one of
classic
probably the top like 10 games on PS2 that people still talk about nowadays is Tony Hawk. And with the remastered 2 and 3 that came out, I'm really praying they come out with number 4 remastered, because that would be bought up so quick if people see that.
Oh, so very quickly.
Like, I still have, my brother actually found it. I found it on a way to play it on a PC. And he played through the entire thing in like less than 2 days. And I actually have like a PS2, I have a GameCube, I have a couple things that are just sitting in the back. I need a GameCube controller to be able to play the GameCube, obviously, but I still have some of the old consoles, I have some of the older games still, and I'm like, wonder if this one will ever get remastered. But with, I guess we can hop into this Panthers game and see if this one's any different from last week. But with some of the streamers, when you think of them, it's like you obviously have the most well-known ones, like Fendler, Murphy D, Luch, Retro Yimmy, those type of people that everybody knows. Then you have kind of that mid-tier of people that are known but aren't exactly like known by everybody.
Yeah, they're not like recognized, yeah.
And then you have those underrated people, like Laserbeam is the first one that comes to mind, because he's known, but much like me, his consistency to stream has kind of bumped him down a lot. But I mean, he's one of those people that are really good when they do stream. You just have to keep an eye out and see when they do, so you can actually catch them. And then with me, it's like everyone knows sometime afternoon is when I'll be going live if I do, And
yeah, no, for sure.
Right now, everybody, as you would know, is making sub goals this month because, well, they have a discount on them. So, and I think this September might as well be like sub goal-tember, because everybody has one, including myself. I actually have one for the one chip challenge.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. I did that one, so you're in for a treat.
But I have it set to 350, and the most I've ever had at one time was like maybe 100, so it's a lofty goal, and I plan to just keep that goal existing until it's broken, which God knows how long that'll be.
That's the way you do it.
And like, it started already, and this will be the third or fourth day of seeing if anything happens with it. But the one thing that people have to realize is all because you have a sub goal doesn't mean you're asking for subs. You just have something to achieve or for the chat to see if it does happen to get achieved, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Because it's like, there's so many streamers out there. Like Fendler just broke one of his goals, and he's gonna have to do a 12-hour stream pretty soon. And it's so the people who are subscribing, they see that there's something coming out of it when they hit a certain number, and I feel like that makes people. It might make people want to subscribe or give subs just to see it happen, but it's not like they're getting on camera and they're like, subscribe to me, subscribe to me, subscribe to me, subscribe to me. It's not like that. And like, it's not YouTube. On YouTube, you almost have to ask for subscriptions because that's how you actually grow. Whereas with Twitch, subscriptions are just a bonus. It's for me, it's just about having fun and, like I said, giving people some new games to play. Maybe, obviously, rediscovering games that they loved from before. And I feel like if a streamer doesn't think of this as just a fun thing to do to help people have entertainment and stuff, anybody who thinks of it as just a way to make money isn't going to survive streaming very long.
No, yeah, 100%.
And that's something I feel like a few streamers that I've noticed, not so much in the community, but in other areas that I've noticed, they make it pretty obvious that subscriptions are the only reason they're doing it. And that's just not the way to grow, succeed, or anything like that. Like, imagine if Fendler was like that. Imagine if he was actually asking. He wouldn't be where he's at right now if that's his mindset, right? And he's a good example because since day one, he's never, like, whether it be somebody else subscribes, somebody gives a sub, he always says, as does a few others, you don't have to do that,
No, yeah, and I mean, somebody just in my chat right now, King Kong just said it right now, too. He said, there's definitely a difference between reaching for subs and then, like, making it a goal you can, which I totally
yeah, exactly.
agree with. Like, right now, you're right, I got a sub goal, too, and mine's a 12-hour stream. I think it was for, like, 30 subs this month. We hit 30 subs by the end of the month, I'll do a 12-hour stream. But again, it's like, I wanted that as a goal.
And let me make this,
I want to reward my community also, so that's how I like to think of it.
Let me make this clear to both our chats right now. I posted the sub goal in a poll, and I let the community decide on what number it would be. I only came up with the numbers, but I let the community decide how big the number is for the sub goal. And from seeing other people having done it, Fendler, I think Sapper was the one that did it with him, and a few other people I've seen do it. I'm like, I'm not going to set it for a low goal because I know damn well it's going to be hot as hell. It's going to be painful, and it's going to suck. So, I think I went 200, 250, 300, 350, and they voted for 350. So.
Oh, there you go. I mean, if your community voted for it, then yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, that's why I had to make the goal high. I couldn't be like, 50 subs, because, a wild ass motherfucker like Sapper would just come in here and drop 50 and be like, you have to do it now. This community is wild like that, though.
No, that's how I think of it too. My community, they like the raunchy, the crazy shit that I do. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna give it to them. That's how I try to do it. I try to give the people what they want. I'm an entertainer.
But yeah, that's just the way it is. If you're gonna make a sub goal, like for me, if you scroll through my freaking news feed or whatever you want to call it, 90% of what I've posted is either stream team stuff or promoting other people's YouTubes.
Yeah, and I respect that.
That's like 90% of what I do. And then the other 10% has nothing to do with me, like besides actually no, 5% of it's me posting my links to what I'm doing. But the other 5% is just random football stuff that's going on. And so, I pride myself in helping a lot of other people succeed, and if you look at my goals, I don't know how far down my freaking feed it is, but like, I think I had like 7 goals, and 5 of those 7 were about other people, not me. So,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
I put one of them. I just want to help other people reach partnership or help other people reach affiliate. I'm not, like, I'm already affiliate. I don't think I'm ever going to hit partnership just because I don't have the consistency yet to make a solid claim that I should be a partner. But I've helped, people get partner and affiliate, and that's what makes me happy. And when I get on, it's like if I have, like right now, I have Silent Ninja that's lurking. I have King Cove that's going between mine and your chats right now. But if whoever I have in chat, if they're active, that's all I care about. Like if I see 30 people in here, but only 2 people are talking, I'm just like, it's not fun for me, And that's why numbers.
You want that engagement.
Yeah, that's why numbers I feel like are an overrated aspect. Because you could average 30 viewers. But are you averaging 30 viewers with, at minimum, 2/3 of them talking at once? Most of the time not, And I feel like that's the key difference between my goals is I want 10 people in chat at any given time with at least 8 of them talking to me the entire time they're in here.
Yeah, I like making sure the chat's engaged. I want to make sure that I'm not just sitting there doing nothing. I mean, obviously, if I'm playing a competitive game of Madden, I will do that. But, at the end of the day, I want to make sure I'm entertaining.
Yeah, and it's like, numbers, a lot of people pay too much attention numbers, and there's people who pay way too less attention numbers. I find myself right in the middle. I don't so much care about the numbers, I care about the people behind the numbers.
Yep.
Oh, hey, it's Dom. How you doing, man?
I totally agree. Partnership, the ultimate goal. We try to get it, man. We're trying to get to it.
And, that's like right now, what my goal is to help other people reach partnership. I want to see Luch, Murphy D, you, Evo. I want to see a lot of people get partnership before I even think about myself getting partnership, because the people I listed deserve it more than I do. It's as simple as that.
It's a list of legends right there. I appreciate that you put me on that list. I think Murphy D's up next, honestly. I think he is. I think he's up next.
I think it's Murphy D or Big Evo. It's one of those two is going to be next.
I agree. I 1,000% agree with that.
Because I thought Lauren would be next after whoever it was before Lauren. Lauren made it, so now it's like, it's Murphy D or Big Evo. It has to be one of those two that's next, right?
Oh, 100%. I'm a betting man, so I'm going to bet that it's going to be Murphy. I think it's going to be Murphy.
I agree. It's Dom dropping emotes in chat. I love that my chat that's up on screen actually shows the emotes now instead of just the written out, emote thing, It wasn't doing that before this last system update too, so I think that's what brought it into actually showing the emotes as they're supposed to be seen, which is really cool. Thanks for following, Dom. Appreciate it. Alright, change of possession, and then we'll go ahead and ask the next question. Okay, so...
Code on my chat, he said that he disagrees with it, TBH. He said, I mean, chat and everything is important, but lurkers are such an important part of the community.
Yeah, I don't... that's not me putting lurkers down, because... I mean, if you're lurking, that's one thing. But, what I'm saying is I like having more active people than just having a big number. Is basically the gist of what I was saying. It wasn't like lurkers suck or I don't like lurkers or anything like that. It was more of I like having people actively chatting with me as I play.
Yeah, no, and I agree. I think it just goes both ways. You want to have a good amount of both, a good even amount of both.
Yeah, if I have 10 people, even if 5 are talking and 5 are lurking, I'm happy with that. That's 50-50, But you have these people who flaunt around that they have 75 people in chat, yet when you hop in there, 5 people are talking. That's what I don't like, It's personally, if there's only 5 people talking, that to me means that you're not interesting enough for people to talk while you're streaming. And there are definitely people like that stream that don't interact with chat at all, and that's why there's very few people talking. And that's why I think people like Fendler, even if they fall behind on chat, they catch up as quickly as possible and they make sure they check everybody in,
No, yeah, exactly, yeah. That works for them too, to each their own.
And I mean, there's a streamer I watch, she's a VTuber, Wolfie to the Max, right? She streams 3 times a week. She's a variety streamer like I perceive myself to be, but she gets, the way I see it is when I hop in her chat, she normally has 10 to 20 people. I typically see at minimum, myself included, 8 people talking at once. That's a good ratio. But like I hopped into her, like VTubers, I've gotten into them a little bit. I've gotten into Last of Us streamers. I've gotten into a lot of different people because I like to branch out into other communities since I play so many different games, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I think I said it at one point during one of my what was it? I forgot what it was because everyone and their grandma are talking over here right now. What was I talking about? I was going to say something and I can't remember what it was. Give me a second, I'll remember.
No, you're good.
Oh yeah, so people that have a decent amount of viewership plus interaction is what my goal is, as rather it be a streamer, YouTuber, whatever. Like two of my last like 3 or 4 uploads, I've had 40 plus people viewing it, and that has been the most in like months. So, and like I don't know if you're subscribed to mine, and I don't know if I'm subscribed to yours because I'm subscribed to so many different YouTubers. It's not even funny at this point.
Oh yeah, same. That's how I am. I can check though later.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to my video, and you can send me a link to one of yours, and we can make sure we're subscribed. But what's weird is, like, the more games and the more communities you get into, the more welcome you feel, and the more you feel like you can post multiple different things. Because if I was just in the Madden community, I don't know if I could be a variety streamer, because I don't know, in terms of the Madden community, how many people like other types of games.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it's just like,
and then
I personally I'm a big sporting game, so no matter what I jump into, it's going to be a sporting game, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And then think about a year ago, I mentioned on one of my streams that I don't mind, like I said it this exact way, and I think it came up on one of the people's clips. I think it was yours or somebody's when they do the shout out and the actual clip pops up. I said, and it was during a wrestling stream, I said, I don't mind being a background character. I don't mind just being here to support others. And I definitely don't mind having like a niche in a community. And I think I said in that clip that I'm easily replaceable in this community. I'm very easily replaceable. You know, there's plenty of people that could fit my shoes better, or if not the same as me. But as time has gone, from that point, I've formed genuine connections with a lot of people in the community. Yourself, Kyle, Ninja, Luch, Murphy D, to where my viewpoint on that has completely shifted from I can be easily replaceable to I am a key factor because of how often I've been brought up as a key factor, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like, Fendler does it every single time I gift a sub, drop bits. Anytime I pop into chat, he never hesitates to mention that, and I think people like him and Kyle and Ninja, Luch, D, all these people, they've said it enough to where I can firmly believe I am a factor in it instead of just being a background person that's just kind of there, you know? And that I feel like is definitely my favorite growth within the community, for sure.
No, yeah, I agree. And also I think that, like, you know, that obviously is a key factor, but also there are some people that would want to, you know, like personally me, I know that obviously I like being in chats and everything, and I'll jump in chats and everything every once in a while, but I do like, personally, sometimes I like just sitting there and, like, when I watch W or I watch Ragusa or, like, who was I watching earlier, Zan or Mills, I like watching those competitive players, you know, even if I'm not in their chat, I just like seeing what their tendencies are, what they do, how they adjust to stop punch, you know. So just things like that. I think that definitely there's definitely a rhyme and a reason to why everybody watches a stream. Like you may like being in those chat rooms to be engaged with the chat or so on and so forth. But I prefer to be in there because of you know, just trying to make them feel.
Yeah, for me, it's like, a mixture of the type of person the streamer is, along with the type of chat they have. Like, let me make this clear. I don't hate Vose. I don't hate Vose at all. I don't dislike Vose. Sometimes I just don't like his chat, and that's why I don't jump in there nearly as much as I used to. But the thing is, if I ever have a day where I'm just like, I want to hear somebody cuss, I want to be in a ruckus chat, I want that type of chat, that's the chat I know I can go into.
Ragoose is the man for you then.
And then there's the ones that I like a chill vibe type of chat. I like people who have the energy but aren't overboard with it. There's certain streamers for that, and just depending on the day, that's the type of streamers chats I hop into, and that's why I have such a wide variety. Zane, the guy you were talking about, I haven't been in his chat for more than maybe 10 minutes, and that's not because I don't like him or his chat. It's because he's normally on when there's so many other people I normally watch. So.
Oh yeah, definitely trying to make your rounds and stuff too. Trying to get to everybody's stream.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say it myself, but I'm pretty sure there's people out there that'll say I'm really good at getting around chats. And I try to hit, when I see people's chats, I try to hit everybody's, and I try to be in there, like I said to Kyle yesterday. I like being in people's chats for at least 5 minutes before I dip out of it, Just enough to see what they're doing, see how they're doing, and all that, and I try to engage a little bit while I'm in there. And then there's the people like Wolfie, who I got into more recently. I like her, and her chat interaction and energy are almost always on par with each other. And that's one of the reasons I like jumping into some chats, when you have that perfect balance. And there's not a lot, not to put down any streamers or anything like that, but there's not a lot of people that I've been in the chats of that could do both, almost perfectly balanced. And sometimes that's the type of chat I want to be in, right? And I'm sure I speak for everybody. There are just days where somebody say, maybe there's times that someone like CJ Foss just isn't the type of person I want to watch that day. And I feel like when people think of how I'm putting this, it's like, oh well, he obviously hates this guy's stuff on these days. And it's like, no, it just doesn't fit my vibe that day. And that's why I pop in for 5 minutes at a time, because it's like, okay, maybe this matches my vibe today. And the ones that match my vibe, I stay in there for maybe a half hour before hopping out instead. And that's just how it is with me. I don't know if everyone else has that same type of mindset when it comes to which streams they hop into, but that's definitely just how I work my rounds,
No, yeah, for sure. And I like you said, depending on the mood, you're going to hop into somebody's stream that you know how they stream, I know I'm very energetic, so I don't know. I know some people may not be as into my streams because I'm very energetic and stuff, so just kind of depends.
Yeah, normally when you go live, I hop in, I typically say hi. There are times when I just have you on as background noise too, because you're a very entertaining background noise sometimes. And most of the time, though, I say hi and I have you on in the background or whatever for a little bit while I'm doing whatever it is I'm doing. And then I hop into another chat, and it's at that point, I'm like, okay, cool, he's doing okay. And that's typically when I hop in and out of chats, it's either my vibe isn't with theirs, or I see they're doing well, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, that's awesome, and I go see if the next person is doing good, And I try to check in. That's why I check in personally, because I know everybody's gonna post a, tweet about it or anything like that, and sometimes you have to be in chat to know how a streamer's feeling that day. And when I come across a streamer that's having a bad day, they're down in the dumps, they hate everything, whatever the case may be, those are the chats I also typically stay around for, to try to lift their moods back up.
Yeah, try to help them, yeah, exactly.
And I think I've had people describe me as just someone who raises other people up, and I think this is the most accurate phrase to describe me. I put a lot of people before myself almost all the time, right? And that's the YouTube promotions in itself proves that, because though I do post mine up, you can stream through, and I'm pretty sure there's Dino's, Rowdy Times, Up and Adams, Luch's when he has one, Murphy D's, because I like helping others before I worry about anything I'm doing. And that's something I've had that since at least high school. And I know if I'm set, I can help other people, and that's just the way I am, right? And I mean,
yeah, for sure.
go into Fendler's chat. Who's the number one on the gifted leaderboard there? Me, because I'm normally in a good standpoint and I'm in a good spot, and I know that whatever's put into that channel goes back into it, and that's why, like, I think Murphy D's, Luch, who's the other one? Oh yeah, Ninja. Though I haven't gifted him that many recently, but it's like I know the streams I pop into, the streams I give stuff to, I know that those people are either going to use them for bills or use it to make their streams better for everybody, and that's what I like. I like to see people upgrade streams or make sure that whatever they're producing is the best it can possibly be.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, because you want their content to be amazing. Yeah.
And that's Wolfie again. Somebody donated her $100 yesterday. It went to a new power supply because she needed one. And that's the type of streamer I like too, the ones that tell you where your money is going. And
no, yeah, exactly. Just to make sure that they're getting their upgrades, you know?
Yeah, like I think, and she actually posted earlier today, her old power supply was, I don't know if it was overworking her computer, and I think it was, but it's like she was able to upgrade because of that dono, and now her streams are going to be better. And that's what I like to see. I like to see the streamers that I like the most having upgrades to what they're doing. And, you know, people like me, I'm still on console. Sure, cool, whatever. But I don't think it matters if you're on console, PC, a mixture of both. If you're genuinely a good person, people will show up. It might take time, but they will show up.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And, like, I've had times, I think I was doing a Final Fantasy VII stream. Luch raided me with, like, 20 people out of nowhere, and then I think the Titans running back, not Derrick Henry, Darrington Evans? Is that his name?
Yeah, that's it,
He raided me that the next day when I was playing Detroit Becoming Human. And that was probably in the top portion of my achievements on Twitch, was being raided by a Madden player. And at one point, I had Fendler, CJ, and Up and Adam, and Murphy D in my chat at once. And
that's a squadron right there.
When I have like people like that in chat, and Ninja too, when he's here with other people, when I notice the boys in the chat, that's one of the best streams no matter what. If I have just two of the boys in chat, I'm happy. Because those are two people, and I say this every time. Doesn't matter how long you're in my chat for. The fact that you take time out of your day to pop in here, say hi to me, and hang out is all I care about.
Exactly. No, I totally agree.
Because, like, you don't have to click on me. There's, like I've said, and Sapper hates when I say this, but when people pop into my chat, they're choosing me over much better creators. Simple as that. And, I mean, people are going to say, oh, no, you know, no, there's better creators than me. Okay, it's just the way it is. And the fact that people pick me over somebody like, say, Clap or Yimmy or anything like that, it's like, that to me speaks volumes to how confident they are that they'll be entertained by me, you know?
No, yeah, exactly, yeah.
And that's why, like, when I ship raids off, I try to pick someone new every day. I try not to make them back-to-back the same person. I try not to raid the same person in a week span of a week either. I try to make sure somebody different catches it. Like, after this stream, honestly, probably going to be going to Clap. It's probably where this stream's going. Mainly because I'm like 2K away from a title shot, and I really want it. So, but yeah, it's just the outcome of streams typically are based on the streamer, what they're playing, what their chat's like. I think is like the very key factors, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like having that, like, you know, I would say having that swagger, you know, you got to think you're the best no matter what, because if you don't, then you ain't doing it right. Obviously, I'm
Yeah.
not saying be a dick to everybody, but I'm also saying, you know, you got to think you're the best and that you are the best at what you're going to do, or you one day are going to reach that accomplishment. So,
Well, that's like with me. I believe I'm a good entertainer, maybe even a great entertainer at times, but you have to have that balance of confidence and humility.
nope, yep, exactly, yeah. Like making sure
Like,
you got a nice little balance, or
I
just
can't
fucking
say,
send all balls on,
you
just
know,
happen to be the most swaggerish person ever in
yeah,
the world, and just like literally, just like
I'm
the greatest thing ever.
never, ever gonna say I'm the best streamer on the planet or I'm the best entertainer in the world or anything like that, because that sets you up to not only lose followers but also for failure. It's that simple. Because when you overhype yourself or you saturate yourself or whatever you want to say, people notice that. They notice when you're trying to overshoot, and some people don't like that, you know. And that's why, like with me, I keep my view realistic. I know there's better streamers than me out there. I also know there might be people that aren't as good, but they're putting their best foot forward, you know?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that's the type of mindset I have in everything. Like, I'm never going to be the best at anything. Because, much like a job, there's always somebody above you.
But you can also have that goal to be that person above everybody, you know?
Yeah, and, you know, I do have the goal to eventually be a partner, but I want to make sure those that deserve it more get there first, you know?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I do get that, and I bet they do appreciate that. But at the end of the day, you got to make sure you're looking out for yourself and just make sure that you are just like, obviously you support who you want to support, whether it's whoever it is actually.
Yeah.
And just make sure that you're supporting them, but you got to make sure you're pushing yourself to the limit too.
Yeah, and that's why, like, when I stream, that's why I stream a variety now, because that's where I feel I'm the most able to succeed. Because, whether streaming or not, I don't like just playing one game. That's just not who I am. And, you know, a lot of people play, like, Madden, for example. People play it on stream, off stream, and seemingly there are people who play it all the time. And obviously they enjoy it, so have at it. But I get bored of games when I play just one for too long. And I don't want to stream a game I'm tired of because people can tell I'm not happy playing it.
No, yeah, for sure, especially this one.
Yeah, especially something like Madden. Like, I've stood by this for a year now. Technically 2, because I kind of came in at the end of the Madden 19 season. But I said I'll never play Weekend League, and to this day, I've never even looked at the Weekend League, like, you know, menu. Never.
Yeah, the tab or whatever.
It's like, because I know I won't enjoy it, and I might rage, and people might like that, but they're also going to realize that I don't like what I'm playing, and you don't want to lose viewers by trying to be fake and acting like you enjoy it. And
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean,
yeah.
at the end of the day, also, I think, like, personally for me, I love competition. I know I rage, but I'm not raging because I'm mad at anything. Like, with myself, I'm mad because I'm not winning and because I know I could be better. Like, you know, if I lose to, like, you know, just a bad Madden player, I'm going to be mad because I know I could have done better. So just making sure that I can do that. Just making sure that, you know, that, like, I'm pushing myself because I do want to feel that I'm better than, like,
Yeah.
so, you know, above average. I'm an above average Madden player, I would say.
I think that's a fair enough assessment, too. I think, like I said, there's always going to be people better, but there's also going to be people worse than, you know, anybody, really. Like, in every facet in life, there's going to be people that are above and below you, and then there's going to be wherever you're ranked at, right? And you work your best to go up the ranks, as you should, but, like, I think the main key to success is not being complacent. Right? You can't just be okay with where you're at right now. You need to continue to get better. And that's why variety streaming became my thing, because I feel like that's my best way to get better and grow my following more steadily is by playing multiple games.
Yeah, and I agree. Like if that's what you think is the best for you, then you got to put balls to the wall and just go for it.
Like, I think if you go on my Twitch page, I think it might have shifted because I've been only really having Madden up recently. But a couple months ago, there was like 6 games I had said I played recently. And that's what I want. I want people to go on my profile and be like, this guy plays so many different games. And I like some of these games. So maybe they follow off stream, right? They see me go live with the game they like, and they pop in, and I get to see the new faces live, And nothing's better than seeing new names in your chat. Nothing's better.
Yeah.
Like, seeing the OGs, awesome, but then you see someone new that you've never seen before, and you're like, yes, somebody new. And
just trying to build up
that fine mix of OGs and new people is what keeps myself going, anyways. Or seeing people who I haven't seen in a while, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think at one point, Artem hopped into one of my chats a week or two ago, and I was the first person's chat he hopped into that day. And when people choose you to hop into first amongst all the other people they could have hopped into, that makes you feel some type of way. And that's, honestly, if you can get people to think of your stream first, you're definitely on your way. Okay, so with the Madden Week 2 already started technically, but really, Sunday being where the good chunk of games are going to be. What is aside from your team, what is the game you're most looking forward to?
Let me peep the schedule real quick.
Alright, that's fair.
Let me see. I would say, obviously, besides the Saints putting that smack down on the Panthers, I would probably say it's got to be Ravens Chiefs Sunday Night Football. Or no, it's not even Sunday night. Yeah, it is Sunday Night Football. Ravens Chiefs.
Okay, I'm gonna go with.
That's gonna be a telltale game right there. It's gonna be a great game, I think.
I'm gonna go with one that might be a little bit more of a controversial pick. So obviously I have my Chargers and Cowboys, which obviously is my team, so of course I'm going to be looking forward to it. Here's my controversial one, though. And it's probably going to be one that everyone's going to be like, why that one? But I feel like you'll get it as soon as I say it. You want to hear it?
Oh, yeah, let me hear it.
49ers Eagles.
I mean, that's a good one right there. I mean, that's gonna be a good game right there.
And the reason why, Eagles last week, it was the Falcons defense, mind you, looked really good. And then you had the 49ers team that looked like complete trash that last quarter. And I want to see which one's the real version of both of these teams. Are the Eagles actually that good, or was it because of the Falcons? And are the 49ers actually that bad on defense when it comes to late game situations?
Exactly.
Or were they just tired?
What the 49ers can do.
And I feel like that, like everyone was going to pick Ravens and Chiefs because that's the easy, like, go-to answer because you know those are going to be two of the top teams in the AFC. But then you have like stuff like that matchup. It's like proving time. Which one's actually good, right?
No, yeah, exactly.
If the Eagles beat the 49ers, that's going to be the biggest upset this week, in my opinion.
That'll be a good one.
Because the Eagles were basically touted to be one of the bottom 5 teams in the league. If they can beat the 49ers, that proves that they are actually more competitive than we were giving them credit for.
Oh, 100%.
And then I'd say with Thursday night games, there hasn't been one that's just this is going to be a good game. For week 1, we're Cowboys are going to get smacked. And then look at how that game turned out. And we're Washington and Giants, it's going to be a snooze fest. That one turned out the same way as the Bucs one did. Thursday night football is different this year, and I can't put my finger on why, but we can't seem to, like, most of the time, like the last couple seasons, this game's going to suck. This one's going to be blowout. This one's going to be garbage.
Oh, yeah, no, it's always Thursday Night Football. Thursday Night Football's always like that, though.
And then just so far, first 2 games, it looks like Thursday Night Football might be a little bit different this year. And that's what's good, because Thursday nights are the ones that people normally skip, you know. But now it's like the last 2 weeks, it made you think, maybe we have to start watching the games now.
Yep, exactly. I mean, that's just how the NFL is. You'll start to figure out, you know, we'll start to all figure out who's good and who's not good in a couple weeks.
Yeah, like Herbert and the Chargers. I think Herbert, despite the fumble that shouldn't have been a fumble, and despite the interception, played really fucking good last week. And he had receivers dropped, I think, 8 of his passes last week. 8 of them. 2 of which would have been touchdowns. So if they don't,
that was a good game.
If they don't drop passes this week, I feel like that's going to be the Chargers winning it with relative ease if they don't drop passes this week. But this is the Chargers we're talking about, and they're probably going to.
Yeah, for real, we're going to have to see.
Okay, so next question for you. So obviously you're a Saints fan.
Yep.
Is there a reason you picked the Saints over maybe some other team, or is there somebody that's maybe your family likes the Saints and you just went with the family pick? Explain to me what led you to being a Saints fan.
Oh, this is my favorite question. I get this all the time. I'm actually a Saints fan because when I was growing up, Reggie Bush was my favorite player. When he played at USC, I loved watching him growing up, just watching that human highlight tape just ball every single night while he was at USC.
Uh-huh.
I was born and raised a Arizona State Sun Devil, so I got to see Reggie Bush 2 of his 4 years, or 3 years really, 2 of his 3 years while he was at USC. When I was younger, play at ASU, and it was crazy. Him and Liner just tearing it up. But yeah, I said when he was getting drafted, I said wherever he gets drafted to, that's the team I'm gonna. They're gonna be my favorite team. So he got drafted to the New Orleans Saints, and I've never looked back the day he got drafted.
See, that's an interesting way of picking a favorite team for sure. Most people, it's my home team, or I went to that team after, this year because I didn't like this team anymore. But I think that's the first time I've heard of somebody using a specific player and way they're drafted is their favorite team. And that's a cool story, though.
Yeah, no, and I mean, like I said, I've gone through the heartbreak of multiple playoff losses, multiple years, so I'm here for it, no matter what. I'm not leaving them. I'm here for the long haul.
Yeah, and that's, as a Chargers fan, obviously I've been through my fair share, especially the last 2 fucking seasons with close games. And close games that we lose.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Hey, it's okay. It's all good, I still think to this day, if the Saints get that one call, we're going to the Super Bowl, play the Patriots, and we win.
Exactly. And then with last week, it's like the Chargers coach, Staley. I think just with last week's 2-minute drill situation where they had to convert a couple first downs to end the game, that proves that a lot of our issues were because of Anthony Lynn those last 2 seasons. Because Anthony Lynn's a fucking dumbass, okay? He doesn't know clock management, doesn't understand the talent he had on his roster. And when they went with, a year ago, if they had a 3rd and 16, they would have ran the ball and punted it. But not Staley. He was like, fuck that, pass it to Kansas. And that's something that I think the Chargers definitely, as a Chargers fan, I'm happy about it. But we were very lucky that after Rivers left, we were able to instantly find our guy.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because, there are teams that still haven't found their guys. The Broncos haven't found their guy since Peyton Manning. Raiders are a bit weird because it's like Derek Carr could be the guy. We still don't know that yet. But the Saints with Teddy Bridgewater, he's going to be the guy for at least a year or 2 probably because he's getting a little bit older. But you guys know what you're getting with Teddy Bridgewater. Or no, not Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy? No, that you guys know what you're getting with Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is who I was actually talking about.
Oh, you were talking about Jameis Winston? No, yeah. Oh, Cobb, yeah, no, 100%. Giants, Danny Jones is the man there, Cobb, 100%.
I'm sorry, but I have to laugh at that. He's not the guy.
You don't think so?
I don't think he's the guy. I'm not saying he's a terrible quarterback. Let me just throw that out there. I'm just saying I feel like he hasn't shown enough in key moments to prove it yet. Because I feel like that's how you judge who the next quarterback is, when they can do it under pressure. You know what I mean?
I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, I thought last night he played pretty well.
Yeah, he played pretty well last night, but so far, anybody that's paid attention to Daniel Jones, he's been an up and down player. He's.
I mean, last year, you got to think about that. Last year, he didn't have
He didn't have Barkley.
He didn't have Barkley. He didn't have that other. There were other tight end or the receiver. What was his name? Evan Ingram was injured.
Yeah.
And then I think Shepard got injured towards the end of the year too.
I feel like
he was in and out. I think
this is a make or break season for Daniel Jones. I feel like that. And he's looked good so far. He's looked good so far, I give him that. But he hasn't really faced a top-tier team yet. And I feel like when he faces a top-tier team, that'll be the proving ground for him this year. Put up the same stat line as last night against a top-tier defense. Washington is a top-tier defense. They're not a top-tier team yet. Do that against, do that against the Saints. Do that against the Cowboys later down the road. Do that against the Bucks, and I'll believe it. But for now, it's Denver. Good defense, just not. I don't think they're top tier anymore because they're aging a little bit. And obviously, this past weekend with Washington, good team. Great defense, but they haven't looked like the defense from last year yet, if we're being serious about it.
Yeah.
Do it against even the Dolphins defense, and I'll believe it. And it's like, with Herbert, he proved it last season. He has it. His coaching staff let him down last year. And that's the difference, I think, that every quarterback needs. They need that elite performance against an elite team to solidify themselves as a starter. Last season, Daniel Jones didn't have a good stat line. Let's just say it like it is. But there were reasons behind that that you mentioned. So I'm not going to look too much in the last season. I need to see what he does this season before I say he's going to be that guy, right?
Oh, yeah. I agree. It could be a big year for him.
If he stays on the route he's going, if he keeps the stats he's accumulated up to this point and keeps them steadily going in the right direction, he'll be the guy, for sure. But time will tell with Daniel Jones if he's the guy or not.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so that's the answer with why you were a Saints fan. Really good answer. Was not expecting that. Okay, do you have a least favorite team outside your division that, let me make this absolutely crystal clear, that is not the Patriots?
The Packers, 100% the Packers. I hate the Packers. I hate Aaron Rodgers. That is the easiest answer I've ever had in my life. I will stand by that to the day I die. I hate the Packers.
I'm actually surprised your answer was the Packers, but I feel like that's...
To go from literally Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, and then I'm praying to God that what's his name is not going to be good.
Jordan Love. Jordan Love.
Jordan Love. I'm hoping that they don't get gifted with another damn good quarterback.
But let me throw this out there, too. Between Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, you only have 2 Super Bowl rings.
I mean, I do agree with the fact that they've been just competitive the past 20 years.
But here's the thing, right now,
longer than that.
as soon as Aaron Rodgers leaves, as of now, the Packers are fucked.
Oh, 100%. Devontae Adams don't even want to be there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Rodgers leaves, Adams leaves. Where the fuck's your offense after that?
Yep.
You have Aaron Jones, good job, but you don't have anyone to throw to.
Exactly.
And you know who I miss seeing in a Saints uniform? Never gonna see him in a Saints uniform again. Jimmy Graham.
Oh, I know. He in that black and gold was crazy. Him and Jeremy Shockey were brutal bastards.
And that's the thing. I remember, I think it was the actual CC that had a tweet out. It was, Drew Brees and his noodle arm is like telling me blah blah blah, right? I'm like, hey, at least at one point Drew Brees had arm strength. I don't think you've ever had abs in your fucking life. And he actually quoted me. He's like, "That's good. I will rub my one ab across you, and you'll like it." I'm like, "I'm sorry. I'm more of a 2-ab guy, but I can put you in touch with someone who enjoys that type of connection if you want me to." Never got a response from him, so that was pretty funny. But I feel like people like that are fun to interact with because they give you something back. It's like awesome, right?
Oh yeah.
And me and him don't actually have any issues. I just wanted to see what would happen if I said something to him about his abs versus his arm strength, and I actually got what I wanted to see. And some people, which leads me into my next question: has there ever been anyone you interacted on, with on Twitter, that you just interact with in a certain way because it leads to some entertainment, and there's actually no hard feelings between you and that person?
Oh, 100%. There's a list, actually. I don't even know. There's a bunch of people that I mess around with. My boy King Cobb, me and Rowdy. There's a lot of people that we just kind of mess around. Cobb and me and him, we always talk about the Giants and football in general. Rowdy, same thing, sports. There's a lot of people that I just kind of go back and forth with, just talking to and stuff.
And what's funny is, like, me being a Chargers fan and there being some Raider fans that are in the community, I don't really talk shit about the Raiders or to them about the Raiders, because I know how my team is. When we're supposed to beat the Raiders, we don't. I'm not going to talk shit about them until we actually beat them. I feel like that's the key when it comes to talking shit. You can kind of talk a little bit of shit before the game, but you don't want to go overboard, because then when they lose, if they lose, you look like an asshole, basically, or you look like an idiot, basically. And you put too much hype into your team, and then, like, the Packers last week, great example, talked way too much shit, and look at what happened.
I think that's just being a fan, though.
I'm gonna
talk shit every single week. I don't give a damn if I know the Saints.
The way I communicate with people is I do talk a lot about how great Herbert is, and I have footage of last year and last week to prove that he's good. But I never rank him higher than I feel he has earned, right?
Yeah.
And there are people that randomly after, and I saw you quote this, after Jameis last week put him in elite, everyone else below him, inaccurate.
That's true. That's how it is. There's Jameis and everybody else.
But I'm going to say this. Jameis proved last week, after fixing his crap eyesight from before, that he's actually a good quarterback. And it was his eyesight that was fucking with him before. Now, if Jameis does it,
we don't know for sure yet.
If Jameis does it consistently through the year, I'll put him in the same tier as I put Herbert in. But I'm not going to put him or Herbert in elite yet because we don't know yet if they can be considered a top 5. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I put Herbert at 8. That's where I put him at. I feel like quarterback-wise, he is the 8th best quarterback in the NFL right now. And he might shift around. Like, I don't think I'd put him any lower than maybe like 12th best in the league. But one of the names that I always put above people that might shock most people is Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, I put him at 6. And tell me
I can see that there. I can see that. I was trying to think of like who else. Yeah. I think he's very underrated.
I put him at 6 because he's been surrounded by very minimal amounts of talent in Detroit. And yet he was consistently one of the best quarterbacks in fantasy every single season. And now look at what he did last week with a competent coach and a competent team around him. Now, it's only 1 week, but we all know that Matthew Stafford is by far one of the most underrated players in the NFL.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And yes, King Cove, Herbert is number 8 in the league in my opinion. And I said it just now, I will put him at lowest 12, but I know for a fact there's not more than 11 quarterbacks better than Herbert is right now. Simply put. I mean, I can list off the people I would put over Herbert right now if everyone wants me to. 11 is fine, but 8 is ugh. Okay, King Cove. And if anybody puts Brady above Herbert, I will literally slap them in the face. Who is...
You think Brady's not above him?
I don't think he's above him anymore. I think, and you can disagree with me if you want, I think the talent around him makes more plays than he actually does.
I don't know about that. You got to put the players in the right position. I mean, Brady basically is a coach on the field.
Yes, I'm for real, King Cove, and you're Mr. Daniel Jones is your quarterback of the future for sure. Me wild? No, you're wild. Let me tell you who I'd put above Herbert. Mahomes. Obviously.
Okay. Yeah, wait, so this is your list with Herbert at 11?
This is him at 8 right now. And then the 3 after him is who I can shift him around with as time goes, right?
Alright, yeah.
Mahomes, obviously.
Yep.
As much as I hate him, or as much as you hate him, still have to put Rodgers above him. Lamar is a bit difficult to put above him right now. Not because I hate Lamar, not because, oh, he's a running back. He's not consistently throwing the ball enough and getting enough accumulated as a passer for me to put him there yet, right? He's one of the guys that I put at 9 or 10. Okay, so Herbert, or Mahomes, Rodgers, right? And mind you, the ones I'm listing for Herbert, this isn't the, concrete order. This is just the names I would put above him. Kyler Murray, I put him above Herbert. Because even though he does run the ball quite a bit, he's also throwing that he has the arm talent to throw the ball to. Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Pretty simple to put him up there. Not that hard. Honestly, nobody... I'm going to make this clear. Nobody in the NFC East is above Herbert, period. Nobody.
Even Dak?
Dak's one of those guys that are between 8 and 11 that shift around for me. I think that Dak is definitely in the above 11th spot, though. And I feel like he could easily be a top 5. Easily. And hell, I might put him above Herbert sometimes. But the thing that I feel like Dak definitely has over Herbert, and this is part of the reason why I don't typically put him above Herbert often, is he's had a good O-line for half of his career. The best O-line in football, right? And that's why I think that's part of the reason why he's, so good is because he has that time up until last season, basically. He's had the time to throw the football.
Yeah.
And part of my thing that I'm ranking people on is under pressure. How good are they when there are people in their face? Dak's not exactly great at pressured throws. He's good, not great. Herbert last season was up there. When he was under pressure, he had nearly a perfect passer rate. And that's why Dak's just below Herbert or just above him or right where Herbert is right now is where I put him, right?
Okay.
And that's the thing. I'm not to make it like King Cove, to make it super clear to you. I'm not saying Dak's garbage. I'm not saying that he's 100% worse than Herbert. I'm saying at times I will put him below Herbert, and at times I'll put him above. But that's just the way it is. Let's see. Now, obviously he's not playing this year. I'd put Deshaun Watson over Herbert. Just the way it is. If he plays, most definitely. NFC South, I don't know, Tannehill's hard to grade, to be honest. I see him as definitely in the top half of the league, for sure. But I don't know where I'd put him, to be completely honest. I just don't know.
Yeah, it's a little tough for him.
But then you have, I'm thinking, because NFC South is, Matt Ryan, I might put him above Herbert, to be honest. He has the stats to prove it.
I mean, not now.
Well, not right now, but
kind of trash now. He used to be good.
Before the season started, I would put him above Herbert. Now that I've seen him this season, I'd have to put him below. And obviously part of that is losing Julio. Obviously. But he just didn't look like Matt Ryan from the last couple seasons. Simply put, he didn't. He doesn't look good. But that was also only one game. And then, I put Herbert between 8th and 11th, simply put, because he's proven, everyone's going to be like, oh, he was a rookie last season, blah, blah, blah. He broke every rookie passing record but one. Do I need to say anything else?
Trying to think. Not too much.
He missed the passing yardage record by 40. So, I'm sorry if people think I'm overrating him or whatever, but if King Cove is allowed to be optimistic about Daniel Jones, who's shown very little in terms of consistency, then I should be allowed to be able to put Herbert at 8 after breaking nearly every rookie passing record.
I see there's a lot of upside to him. He just got to prove himself now.
But Dak is either just above or just below Herbert, depending on what I'm looking at, right?
Yeah, I'd put Dak above Herbert.
But King Cove, he also has Saquon Barkley. Does Herbert have Saquon Barkley?
Herbert's got Eckler and he's got Allen, though.
Yeah, he does have Eckler and Allen. But you guys have they have Kenny Golladay.
You really think Kenny Golladay is an elite wide receiver?
No, he's definitely not. I think Stafford actually made him look better than he actually was. To be fair.
100%.
But simply put, okay, I'll tell you what, King Cove. I'll put DJ anywhere above the first half of the league if he can go toe-to-toe with Mahomes when he's defending his Super Bowl title and almost beats him. Then I'll put Daniel Jones a little bit higher. In his first career game is when Herbert did that. Let me just make sure that's clear to you. And Silverfox, am I lying? Did they or did they not go blow for blow against Kansas City last year in Herbert's first game and lost in overtime?
I think that is true. It just kind of depends, though. First week's always tough because the first week's always going to have ups and
Yeah.
downs because you're not going to know teams and stuff, you know?
Dak Prescott, in some regards, is better than Herbert. I'll say that. But in some regards, he's worse than Herbert. Simply put. And that's the same with anybody above or below Herbert. Herbert's better than a few of them at some things, worse than a few of them at others. And I feel like everyone's entitled to put their quarterbacks where they want to put them.
Yeah.
And like King Cove, if you want to put DJ at number 10, go ahead and put him at number 10. I'm not going to question you. You have your reasons. But don't question me on my reasons when I put someone who's broken rookie records where I feel they deserve to be after proving that they could, you know? Okay, well, at least King Cove is honest about that, to be fair. Okay, so Tom Brady, in terms of where I would rank him, you bring up a good point that he does have to put them in the right spots. I'll give you that. But I also have to say that as a passer, he's still one of the best in the league. As a game manager, he's still one of the best in the league. I just feel like if you were to put him versus Herbert like last year, I think Herbert would have better stats. I think Herbert has more talent and more upside than Brady has ever had, to be fair. But I still respect Tom Brady. I don't think he's a bad player. I don't think he's garbage or anything like that. I just think his best years are behind him, and the talent around him is helping him out exponentially right now. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, exactly, yeah.
I'm not biased. I just think the kid can ball with a competent team. Yeah, I think DJ could, with a better team around him, be a really good quarterback. I agree with that. I think with a competent coaching staff and team, I feel like DJ can be a top quarterback in the league. Maybe top 15 if he has the right weapons around him. But with the Chargers in particular, injuries and kicking and special teams has been their weaknesses I'm going to say the last decade, actually, if I'm being honest. Also, management's kind of bad, too. But DJ's not the Giants' problem, is mostly what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, King Cove, I'm not saying DJ is the main issue. He shows flashes. He's not consistent enough. In my opinion, he's just not consistent enough. But I definitely feel like he's the least of the Giants' actual problems right now. That I can agree with. Okay, so with you, how long have you been?
I'm gonna have to hop off in like 5 minutes too, just so you know.
Well, that actually works because what I was about to say was, do you have any closing remarks for everybody before we close this out?
No, I appreciate you having me on the podcast, man, and I appreciate all that you do in this community, pushing content creators to reach their goals. What I would say, and I appreciate you with all that, and just really that I'm just trying to, hopefully that whenever you're in my chat, I hope that I can make you smile and laugh, with my flips and all that crazy shenanigans I be doing. So, but yeah, that's really it. I'm just gonna stay hitting them flips. Jameis is king, and that's all I got.
All right, man. Well, you have a great rest of your day and whatever is left of your stream. And I'll see you in either your stream, maybe mine in the future, and I'll obviously see you around Twitter as well.
All right, for sure, man. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
See ya.
All right, guys. So that was Silverfox. He's I feel like one of the most underrated streamers in the community that definitely deserves more recognition than he gets. But with that, we're going to go ahead and find a raid spot and go ahead and end stream. I have some ideas. Charming Mister obviously is very interesting location. But we're actually going to go with Big Evo is where we're going to send the boys to. I was going to send it to Clap, but he actually has like 20 plus people. But I'll see you guys tomorrow with Venom Fury will be the person we... No, actually, we're going to go ahead and raid Charming Mister. Now that I think about it. No, actually, Big Evo. We're going to raid Mr. Clap tomorrow, I think, when we're done with Venom. But thank you guys for watching. This will be up on YouTube probably by the end of tonight, most likely. So if you want to watch it from the beginning again, give it a like, drop some comments and such, then I will greatly appreciate that. But I'll see you guys next time.